With issue 33 you get the middle chassis section, and this will extend the length of the main chassis, so you just basically fit this middle section over the projections on the rear section and press it down, and then secure that into place with 4 of the supplied screws. And with all 4 screws tightened up, that's how your chassis should look at the end of stage 33. Issue 34 contains the front floor pan. You also get 3 types of screws with this issue. You get the MP03s, MD02s and the MD06s, so you need to be careful that you don't get the screws mixed up on this issue. Place the main chassis on its wheels, so the right way up, and then fit the front floor pan into place. That presses down over the screw projections. You need to make sure that it does fit into place because you need to pop it into place. It's quite a tight fit. So when it's actually fitted into place, there shouldn't be any gap around the front of the fitting. Then fit an MP03 screw into this hole here. Next, fit 2 MD02 screws into these 2 holes here. And then another 2 MD02 screws into these 2 holes here. And then tighten 2 MD06 screws into these 2 holes here. And then finally, to complete issue 34, tighten 2 more MD06 screws into these 2 holes at the front of the chassis here. And that's issue 34 complete. Issue 35 is the drive shaft. You get the 2 halves of the drive shaft with this issue. Start off by putting the 2 halves together and make sure they fit properly, and then squeeze them together like this to check the fit. You can then secure the 2 halves together by fitting in 3 MP02 screws into these 3 holes here. Turn the main chassis upside down and then fit the tab on the end of the drive shaft into the slot of the differential. So that just fits in like this. And then locate the 2 posts of the drive shaft into the 2 holes in the chassis and push it into place like this. You can then turn the chassis over and secure that with 2 MP01 screws. And with the drive shaft in place, that completes issue 35. You can also test that the rear axle still moves up and down just by pressing on it. Issue 36, you get the gearbox, or part of the gearbox, the cross member, and a pack of MP01 screws. The first thing to do is to fit the gearbox onto the front of the chassis so that this end part of the drive shaft fits into this slot from the gearbox. So just place that like this, and then turn the chassis over and secure it with two MP01 screws. Finally, take the cross member and fit this into place in these two holes here on the chassis. Just push it into place and then hold it carefully, turn over and secure that with two MP01 screws on the underside. And that completes issue 36, and that's how your cross member should look on the underside when it's all complete.